Hey, Kathy. Good to see you on here. Alrighty, let's see. Hello, everybody. I am going to get everything set up and ready to go so we can start right away. Let's see. Okay, need to just turn on the chat, I think. Oh, everyone can chat. Okay, great. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to dive in and get started right away. Hey, Aubrey. Hey, Kathy, Chris. Hey, Desiree. Hey, Gerald. Jada, good to see you. And James as well. And Joan, Kendra, hello. I've been talking to a lot of you guys over text. So great to see you guys all on here. Let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from and that you can hear me okay. So that way I know it's all working properly. And I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see that too. Let's get that going. And we'll dive right in. That way we can have plenty of time today to answer all of your questions too. So let's see. Akron, Ohio. Awesome. Okay. Okay, I think I got everything set up and ready to go. So, for those of you that have been here before, have watched my recorded webinar, we're going to kind of go over those, same things, exactly what you can expect if you wanted to work from home, and really honestly make $100 an hour. That's kind of what the bookkeeping business breaks down to. So, I'm going to walk through all of that so you guys can see. Oh, Natalia, good to see you. And then that way, hey, Leslie, that way you guys can ask me any questions about this process as we're going. So we're going to take a deep dive into that and happy to pause along the way. So obviously, we're here because by starting a bookkeeping business, you guys can actually make $5,000 a month for your household that you can keep for your personal finances. And it only takes about 10 hours a week to do the bookkeeping work for all the clients that you have at this monthly income level. And you can get up to this within just a few short months, anywhere between 4 and 6 months, depending on how much time that you have available to put into this. Most of our students get up to this level even when they're working a full-time job. When they're starting out, they have little kids at home, maybe they're homeschooling, and a lot of our students have never even done bookkeeping before. So if you fit into this bucket and you're also wanting to accomplish this for yourself or your family, you guys are in the right place. So I'm going to kind of go over how this all works in detail, and you guys can let me know what questions you have. So in case you guys are new here, we haven't had a chance to talk via text or anything like that. My name's Tiffany Higgins. I'm a CPA. I'm also a mom of five, and I am the owner and founder of the Stay at Home Bookkeeper Academy. And I founded this company after experiencing all the wonderful things that happened to my family since we started our bookkeeping business back in 2015. That business allowed me to work part-time while I was taking care of my 6-month-old and also had two elementary school aged kids at that time. And I was able to grow my business surprisingly easy and quickly. That in about 7 months time span, just through trial and error, I was able to get enough reoccurring clients that I covered all of our family's bills for the month. And it gave me an opportunity to allow my husband to quit his job. And then from there, I grew my business steadily over the next year or so while also growing our family. But I ended up making about $200,000 a year at the peak of my business, and I was working less than 40 hours a week. And because of all of that, and having that flexible schedule, I was able to accomplish a lot of things that I wanted to for my family, such as, retiring my husband, but also we were able to grow our family. We had twins during this time period, which I was able to nurse for 2 years, which was very, very time demanding to do that. And then also we homeschooled our older three kids. We moved to a different city. And during this entire time, my bookkeeping business was thriving. So I like to showcase all of that for you guys because I feel like I get myself in these situations where it couldn't be more hard, from a schedule standpoint. And during all of that stuff that I was wanting to accomplish in my personal life, my professional and financial life was still thriving as well. And we were able to balance all of it. So it can be a really great opportunity for someone that is incredibly busy and has a lot to do. Maybe you have a lot of kids, you're homeschooling, you're a single parent, or, you have a lot of other things going on. You're taking care of elderly parents, things like that. I won't say that when you have a really, really busy schedule that it's easy. It's all easy to do. It was a lot of work for us to be able to accomplish all the personal goals that we had and run the business, but it is doable and it does give you that chance and that opportunity to kind of have your cake and eat it too and be able to do all of those things. So that is what you guys have to kind of look forward to. So type in the chat a yes if you are excited about being able to work from home, but also have reduced hours, but then also have more money coming in. And then, of course, still be available to your family anytime they need you. So type a yes in the chat if that is kind of what you guys are here for, what you guys are looking to accomplish in your life. And I want to show you the exact roadmap to be able to do that. So I see a lot of you are saying yes. So it's our mission at the Bookkeeper Academy. We have created this mission. It's called empowering people to become financially independent without sacrificing connectivity with their families by offering the education and framework to launch their own bookkeeping business from home. So this is what we stand for. This is why we're here. We're not only going to teach you how to have a bookkeeping business, how to reach your professional and financial goals, but also how to make this all work with your family, give you the work-life balance that you want, and be able to structure this business while impressing your clients, doing a really good job, and utilizing this business to plan for retirement. We're also going to help you juggle that business and make sure it is fitting in with your lifestyle. And people ask me all the time, what is it that sets our company apart from all the rest? And this is probably the biggest thing. We don't just teach you how to do bookkeeping and teach you how to quote clients and send you on your way. We teach you how to make this business work for your life for long term, because we know that when you have a business, it's part of your life, like it's one of your children, and your other children are just as equally important. So we are going to help you figure out how to make all of this work while still potentially, making more than you've ever made before in your life. So our motto is have your cake and eat it too, because we believe you shouldn't have to choose between, being the parent you want to be for your kids or being there for your family, your spouse, your parents, or whatever it is that's important to you, but also being able to provide for you and your family financially. So we want you to have both. And on this call, I'm going to show you exactly what that formula, that roadmap is for you to be able to reach a financial freedom for your family and being able to spend time with them on your terms. So I'd love to know who all we have with us today. We have a pretty big registrant list. And so I am curious, for those of you that have attended a call with me in the recent past, or maybe you've watched my recording, type a 1 or a yes that you have seen this before, you kind of know a little bit about what I'm going to go over. And if you're brand new to this, you've never been on any of my webinars or seen any of this, type a 2. And I'm excited to dive in with all of you guys. So, okay, great. We have a pretty good mix. This is exciting. Adriana, I think we had a chat not too long ago. Good to see you on here, and Naomi as well. Okay. Awesome. I love this. So welcome back. If you are returning, getting more comfortable with the idea of starting your own business. And if you're new, welcome to our webinar. We're going to go over lots of info here. I'm going to stay on until all of the questions are answered. So if you have any questions even now or towards the end, I'm happy to stay on as long as possible. Okay, so again, like I mentioned, if you have questions, type them in the chat. You can also put them in the Q&A feature of Zoom as well, and I will be more than happy to dive into those. So, okay, so one of the things that I want to go over with our Bookkeeper Academy program, and I'm going to go over all of this in detail towards the end, but the great thing about our program is that it is very easy for our students to make money right away. So how we structure it in our academy is that we put you through a crash course at the beginning, and we teach you everything you need to know, but then we immediately teach you those skills that you need to develop in order to make money. So marketing, learning how to find clients, learning how to quote them. And then as you're getting clients, we then help you learn how to do all of the bookkeeping. So our program ends up being similar to like a paid internship where you are getting paid really soon, really early on. And then as you are making money, we're going to help you with hands-on training with your clients. So that way you are learning and becoming an expert while also making money. All right, Jolene made it, she said. Okay, so I think we're going to dive right into, let's dive right into the roadmap. I want to go right into the roadmap so we have plenty of time today, and then we can go back and touch on some of your guys' goals for those of you that are sticking around. But I want to dive into exactly how this bookkeeping business can help you reach those goals, give you that exact roadmap to getting there. So that way you guys all have complete clarity on what the process looks like, timeline on how quickly you can reach these various goals we just talked about, assuming you jump right into the program and within a couple of weeks start our marketing workshops. This webinar is going to be recorded, but also stick around so I can answer all of your questions. So the first thing I want to go over is the average time it takes our students to reach various levels of consistent, reoccurring, dependable monthly income in their bookkeeping business. So there are several ways you can earn income in a bookkeeping business, like cleanup jobs, commission income, payroll income, back work jobs. Those things are not as consistent and they vary from client to client. So I'm actually going to exclude them, even though they are a very high portion of what you can make. I'm going to exclude them from this chart because I want this to be a conservative, realistic picture of the time frame you can expect with consistent income that you can count on for every month into the future. Even if you don't add another single client to your business once you reach your goal, this will be the dependable monthly income that you can expect with your business. So, for example, what we typically see from our students when they come into our program, they go through the crash course and they immediately start marketing. It really only requires about 5 at a minimum, 10 hours ideally per week that you're working on your bookkeeping business. And after the first 2 weeks, it'd be primarily working on our marketing workshops that we send you through. If you follow that roadmap, then you are potentially going to be able to make about $1,000 a month in new business for every month that you are in business. So, Jolene, meeting ID, I think it should be in your email. I really am not sure exactly where to find that. I think that would be in your email. Um, so what we see is, like, for example, if you were to start your business today, then by, the end of summer, when school starts back up at the end of August, and 4 months from now, you could be making $4,000 a month in consistent reoccurring income, and probably have likely made a lot more than that with cleanup jobs over the summer, which can be a really great opportunity for you guys to utilize that cash to go on vacation or build a savings or get yourself situated so you can quit your job and be able to have a really nice summer with family. So during tax season and things like that, we also see students get past this timeline pretty quickly. And of course, it's not an exact science because everybody's different. Everybody has different goals and everybody puts different effort into the program. But on average, this is what we typically see from our students, that it's about $1,000 a month added to your reoccurring income for each month that you're in business. And of course, our average student is also somebody that typically works full-time and has little kids at home. So I know there's quite a few people that I have been talking to recently that are, either they either have 20 or 30 hours that they can put into this right off the bat. That could also speed up this timeline as well. And so for most of you um, uh, that don't know, when we do these bookkeeping packages for new clients, you're going to charge them a monthly fee, and it automatically comes out of their account, goes into your account on the first of the month, every single month. And most bookkeeping clients stay with their bookkeeper for years. So when you get new clients, it's just adding to your consistent monthly income for every client that you get. So it can be even more dependable than having a job or having a paycheck, right? So this is in terms of money and how quickly it can take you to get up to these things. What we usually see too is after you've been in business for a year, we typically see that our students will double the size of their business almost every year that they're in business if they are continuing to stay in the growth mode, which is great because you can choose to keep growing, and then we can help you hire contractors or full-time employees to work for you, or you can choose to coast and stay where you're at. So the beauty of the bookkeeping business is that you can design the life and the workload and the income that you want, which is fantastic. Does anybody have any particular questions on this slide here, or what the monthly reoccurring revenue means, or how quickly you can get to your income goals? Anybody have any questions on that? If you do, drop them in the chat and I will go back to this chart and answer. One thing that I always like to show people too is, well, if you're going to make that kind of money, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000 a month, what does that mean in terms of how many customers am I going to have? How many people do I find? Because I talk to a lot of people all the time through text and through our one-on-one calls that, have in the past, they have done MLMs, right? And when you do, MLMs, or you're trying to sell a product, you need hundreds and maybe even thousands of clients to make this kind of money. But with a bookkeeping business, you don't. So on average, when you get a bookkeeping client, the fee is going to be about $500 a month on average. I see students that are getting clients that they are charging anywhere from $300 a month all the way up to $2,500 a month or more. But typically the clients are smaller, and so it would be about $500 per month on average to do their basic bookkeeping. So when you factor that into place, if you're making $2,000 a month in your first couple of months, that means you really only need on average about 4 clients. So here's a little chart of, if you look at this and you say, let's say I need $5,000 per month in order to pay all my bills, that means I only need to find 10 clients. So, a lot less than you would really need to make that kind of money doing an MLM or selling some kind of a product that has overhead and a cost of goods associated with it. So if you guys look at this chart, I'd love for you guys to know and put in the chat, how much money do you need to make to cover your bills, maybe to be able to quit your job and do this primarily? Look at that total income number and then type in the chat, how many clients would you need? So while you're doing that, I want to kind of explain a little bit of the range as well. So like I mentioned, you can get clients that are paying you from $300 all the way up to $2,500 and even more. Once had a student who got a really big client, and he was actually charging $2,500 a week for this client. So you can really make a lot of money off of a client. It just depends on the size of the client that we help you find. And if you look at this chart, $20,000 a month, it says 40 clients. When I was making $20,000 a month in my bookkeeping business, I had 33 clients, 31 to 33 clients at a time. So it kind of gives you an idea of the range. And of course, we had a student named Kim. I'll show you about her on an upcoming slide here in a minute. But her first client that she got paid her $2,200 a month. So instead of needing 4 at that first milestone, she only needed 1. So it kind of gives you guys a little bit of an idea of, what to expect as far as the range. Keisha says, I'm working a full-time job and trying to train. What time will I need to put aside each day? Great question. So really, to get the bookkeeping business off the ground, it needs to be a minimum of 5 hours a week. Ideally, to be honest, to really get some good traction, 10 hours a week would really be ideal. Anything less than that is going to really slow your progress down, and you may feel frustrated that you're not getting clients fast enough. So if you can do at least 5 hours, but ideally closer to 10 hours a week, that would be ideal. And truthfully, it doesn't have to be equally spread out over the week. If you can do that, a 10 hours on Saturday, to where you can get through the crash course and then also get your email marketing campaign set up. Most of that stuff will run on autopilot. And then what you'll be doing is just uploading new emails and responding to emails when people email you back and things like that. But ideally, if you've got about 10 hours a week, that's kind of what you need to get it going. First 2 weeks are going to be like a crash course. Then you're going to move right into setting up your email marketing campaign. And then from there, we're just going to focus on doing a little bit more training while also responding to potential leads. And then once you sign a client, then all of your time, your 10 hours a week is going to be devoted into learning how to do a really good job for that client. So then you have more confidence to take on more and more and more. And then eventually you're going to get to the point where the 10 hours a week that you are working is all on client work. And then from there, you'd be making about $5,000 a month once you have enough clients to where it's taking you 10 hours a week to do the bookkeeping. And then that's when people usually are like, okay, if I'm only working 10 hours a week and I truly am making $5,000 a month, I need to quit my job because I need that 40 hours a week that I'm putting towards this other job that's only paying me like $3,000 a month. So I can put that 40 hours a week to my business, or maybe even split it, half to my business, half to my family. So that's what usually happens. But yeah, it does take a little bit of time in the beginning to get it going. So sometimes if you have a very demanding job or a very, very busy schedule, it can be a little bit hard to juggle all of that at the beginning, but it is a short-term chaos for your schedule in order to have a very awesome schedule in the near future. So it looks like a lot of people need 10, 4 to 6, 10 clients. A lot of people's goals are 5,000 a month. So everybody's wanting about 10 clients from there. So that's good. Okay, 6 to quit my full-time job, 10 to be comfortable. I love that, Deidre. That's really awesome because yeah, you can have multiple goals there where, the first one will really get you to being able to make some great lifestyle changes. And then you keep going from there, which is great. Jolene needs help with the marketing part, having help with the Facebook business account. Yeah. So, this is one thing. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about our Bookkeeper Academy here towards the end. But one thing that we do is we help answer all sorts of questions. So the smallest of things can frustrate you when you're getting your business started, because the thing to keep in mind with everyone that's new to this and jumping in, that every single thing you're going to be doing when you start your business is going to be brand new. So, I mean, can you guys relate to how you feel when you start a new job and you're training and every single thing you do or touch or read or help someone with is something you've never done before, right? And so the first 2 months or 3 months of your new job can be annoying and stressful and frustrating just simply because everything is new. And that's kind of what it's like starting a business. So could you guys all do this without us and without the Bookkeeper Academy? 100%. Would it be potentially frustrating, stressful, overwhelming, time consuming to try to figure it all out on your own? 1,000%. So that's why we have the Bookkeeper Academy. It's just an option for you to get help. So when you have little hiccups, like you can't figure out a problem with your Facebook business account, you can come to our group. And not only do we have 10 coaches that are available to help you, but we've helped thousands of people with all of these different little problems and roadblocks and hurdles that we've likely seen the question or the issue you're having. We've probably seen it 50 times. So not only can we help you really quickly, but then we can save you time that you don't have to try to be frustrated and figure it out. So I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that towards the end of this, but the other cool thing is when you're looking at this, again, like if you're doing an MLM or selling a product, or, you want to try another business venture where you make this kind of money, you're going to need a lot more clients in order to hit this goal. But with bookkeeping, you don't need that many. So most of you said anywhere from 4 to 10 clients would be like your first goal. So I want to show you the potential client pool that you're working with and how many people are out there looking for bookkeeping. So This is even an outdated chart because it was from 2022. But as you can see on here from SBA.gov, there's actually 33.2 million businesses in 2022. And these are all considered small businesses. So small businesses, some of these would be a little too big for us to work with, but the majority of them would be right in line with the types of clients that we would want to help. So you guys can easily do bookkeeping for clients that are making anywhere from $200,000 a year up to like 5 million a year. And then above and beyond that, that's when the businesses, start looking for in-house accounting departments. But most businesses out of this 33.2 are going to be in that exact category of business owners that would benefit from an outsourced bookkeeper like you. So that's a huge client pool, 33.2 million. And remember, most of you guys only need 10 clients to reach your goal. So as you can see, there's like never going to be too many bookkeepers out there, and there's always a ton of clients. As you can also see from this chart, it's going up every year, right? So there's about 500,000 small businesses that are starting up every single year. Plus, there's bookkeepers, accountants, CPAs, stuff like that, retiring all the time. As a matter of fact, I just helped one of our students, Josh. He's in our Bookkeeper Academy right now. He went through our email marketing workshop right when he got into our program. And one of the things we do is help you target local, other financial people, like local tax people, CFOs, things like that, to develop partnerships. And Josh found someone in Austin, Texas, that has a CFO firm, and she doesn't want to do the bookkeeping anymore. She's focusing on higher level services. So she worked out a deal with Josh, and Josh worked out a deal with her with our help, that they have a revenue share agreement now. And she is basically offloading all of her clients in her large CFO firm to him for bookkeeping. So huge opportunity, even connecting with people that are currently doing bookkeeping. And I've had so many students who follow that email marketing workshop, and then they find a tax pro that offloads their bookkeeping clients to them. And then immediately they have a free book of business. They didn't even have to buy it. It's just free. So we'll show you how to do that as soon as you get into our Bookkeeper Academy as well. But just to want you guys to know that unlike with MLMs and unlike with like other businesses where you have to find thousands of clients in order to make this kind of money, you only need a very small amount of clients to hit your goals. There is a huge pool of clients out there. And the last great key point with finding clients is that bookkeeping is something that has to be done. It's a required service. You cannot get your taxes done unless your bookkeeping is done as a business owner. You can't get a loan if your bookkeeping isn't in order. So it's something that every business owner knows they need. And whether they, do it right off the bat or they let it build up as a pain point, they're eventually going to reach out and need some help. So we'll show you how to stay top of mind with business owners. And so that way, when they're in need of bookkeeping, they reach out to you. It's not spammy. It's a very non-invasive way of marketing. It's a very service-based way of marketing. I want to help you. Here's my information. Here's what I do. Please reach out to me when you are in need. And we just do that in a very gentle and nice way that these clients are very appreciative. So if you like helping people, this will also be a very rewarding business that you can get into as well from a financial standpoint, but also from coming from the heart as well. So let me know if you guys have any questions about how many clients you need to reach your revenue goals, what the potential is out there for clients. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into marketing here shortly as well, but please stop me if you guys have other questions as well. And Lori says, what do you advise on calculating your income to cover taxes, self-employment, insurance, and still have 5 to 10,000 gross at the end of the month? Yes, great question. So for me, I'll be totally honest with you guys, because I have 5 kids, I pretty well didn't even set anything aside. I had a lot of deductions. So for some of you guys that have a lot of deductions, you probably won't have to really set a whole lot aside. Once you get your business going, we do recommend that you get an LLC and that you Also, elect to be taxed as an S Corp at some point because that will save on taxes. And then when you do that, you will have to pay a little bit of self-employment taxes, but it's something that we can help you get set up with where it's a small monthly expense that you set aside. So, and also Lori too, and everyone else that knows a little bit about taxes, every single person's tax situation is slightly different. So if you've got a lot of kids, you're obviously going to have a lot more deductions and will just generally have to pay less tax than somebody who doesn't have any deductions. But if you also have your spouse has a business, or maybe you have rental property or something like that, that's going to factor into your overall tax liability as well. So it can be very different for everybody. However, to be on the safe side, there's two things that you can do when you start a business. You can first put maybe about 10%. I would suggest putting 10% max aside for taxes if you feel comfortable doing that. And the other thing is we have a lot of tax experts in our program. So we're going to help you with tax planning as well. So as your business is growing, you can do some tax planning with our experts, and then you'll know, okay, so now that my business is making $30,000 a year, I don't really need to save any aside. And then when my business is making 60,000, okay, I think I maybe need to save like 3,000 aside for taxes. And then, 100,000, maybe I need to save 5,000 aside for taxes. So truthfully, it becomes a pretty small amount. So I know sometimes, getting into the unknown can scare people from wanting to do this, but you will make way more money than you will ever need to worry about in taxes. The academy that we have going right now, it's a $3 million company. And my tax liability is obviously quite a bit different than when I had my bookkeeping. And I didn't really have to start worrying about my tax liability until about 2 years into having my academy. It's very manageable when you have a bookkeeping business. Plus, because you can write off some things that you wouldn't necessarily. You can write off your internet. You can write off part of your house as a home office. You can write off your cell phone, things like that. Your computer, if you buy a new computer, you can write it off. So there's a lot of things that you can help do to offset your tax liability, even though they aren't really actually expenses that are new for your business, if that makes sense. Like you're already paying your cell phone bill, right? You already have a house, you already have a computer and internet, but now you get to deduct these things on your taxes as a business owner. The other cool thing, I just want to throw this in there. The other cool thing that you guys can do is once you get your business started, you're in the academy. We do on occasion, I do tropical masterminds where we go on vacation with our students and we basically have a powwow about how can we grow our business. The cool thing about those is that then you can also write off your vacations. So we do that a lot too, which is pretty fun. So you can utilize those things to offset your income tax. So if you guys have any vacations planned and you want to go with, someone from our team, or you want to go with other bookkeepers that you meet in our academy, you guys can literally write off your vacations and help eliminate your tax liability. So there's some things that you need to know about that, but that's something that you could easily do. And Teresa, yes, I will send everybody the recording in case anyone misses any of this. And then I'm going to follow up with all of you guys after this is over too, to see if anyone has questions or wants to hop on a one-on-one call. Margie, potential for Canadians. Great question. It is exactly the same. Okay. So I have a coach and I've worked with a lot of Canadians over the years too. I say most of our Canadian base is probably around 15 to 20% of our academy. I don't know necessarily why. I guess we just don't do as much marketing in Canada, but we do have a lot of Canadian students we've helped. And our mindset coach, her name is Robin. She is a parent coach and our mindset coach. And she used to be on my sales team. So she would help do the one-on-one calls with you guys. And she's from Canada. She's from BC. And she was seeing all the success that all the students were having. So she's like, hey, I don't think I want to be on the sales team anymore. I want to start my own bookkeeping business. And I said, okay, that's fine, but you still have to be our mindset coach. And she said, okay, so she's still, because she does a great job helping people, if they get stuck mentally, they're worried about, talking to their clients or charging, certain fees to clients or something. She helps people pass that. She actually just helped Iris in our academy feel comfortable quitting her job, and she put her notice in yesterday. So Iris is like going to go full force with her bookkeeping business. So really exciting there. She helps people just get over their, shyness and things like that. But anyway, long story short, she started her bookkeeping business, and within the first several months, she made $20,000. All Canadian clients, all of her marketing is in Canada. So just want to say that just because the potential is exactly the same. She charges the same fees. Everything is basically the same. The only difference in Canada is you guys don't have LLCs. You have something else. She'll help you with that. We also know that you guys have the provinces and you do GST and HST. All that stuff is a little different. Bookkeeping can also be on accrual basis for Canada as well, which even more so justifies the price that you're going to charge business owners. But we will fully help everyone in Canada as well get through all of this and reach these same goals. So great question. Let's see. Desiree, so a lot of stuff that I'm going to be talking about right now is basically going to be like the features of our academy. Anytime that I talk about the support that you're going to be getting, it's because it's our team helping you in our Bookkeeper Academy. There are some features of what we do teach that is in our DIY course, the bookkeeping course. But probably mostly what I'm going to be talking about today is the Academy. So if there's any one particular feature that you guys are interested in, or that you're like, ooh, I got to have that, let me know and I'll tell you if it's in the Academy or the course or both. So great question, Desiree. Deidre says, when you get to a point in your business where you need help and need to hire someone else to help you, like a VA, what do they do for you? Do they need to know bookkeeping or should you hire other bookkeepers? Great question. Okay, so the good thing about bookkeeping, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute because I feel like I can connect with you guys a little bit better this way. But the good thing about bookkeeping is that it's very easy to learn. Okay, so 80% of it is data entry, 20% of it is higher level skills that we're going to teach you, like reconciling. What is a balance sheet? What is a profit and loss? How to review those financials to make sure there are no errors and that everything is perfect and ready for tax time. So that higher level skill is really what we're going to be focusing on in the academy when we work with you. And those lessons are also in our bookkeeping course too. But when you hire somebody else, it's possible that you can teach them all of these things too. The challenge is that you're new. If they're brand new, there's going to be a lot of, learning curve for both of you. So we don't always recommend hiring a brand new person to work for you in your business. The other thing to consider too is typically when people get to the point where they want to hire someone, it's because they are working more than they want. They're making great money, but they don't want to work that much. So they hire someone to help them. When you hire somebody that's brand new, they are going to be like infants. You're going to have to put a lot of time, effort, and work into them. And if they don't stick around, that can be frustrating. So the only time that I've ever seen my students hire someone that's brand new that felt worth their time and effort is when they're hiring someone that they care about. So like a sister, a child, like Jen Beckwith in our group, she's hired I think two of her four older teenage sons to work in her business. Obviously, that's worth her time, right? Because she's investing in their education, their future, and she is vested in it because it's her child. And I've had other students who have hired their entire families, their sisters, brother-in-laws, things like that. I've had my mom worked in my business and my sisters and my brother several times. So that is something I feel like is worth it. If it's a random person that you're not really connected with, that may or may not stick around, then that might not be worth your time to train them from scratch. So typically what we would recommend is in the beginning, when you're not quite ready for a full-time person, but you want help, we recommend hiring a contractor. So this is somebody that's skilled in bookkeeping that can then help you with your books. It doesn't really require any training. There can be some challenging parts with that too, though, because not every bookkeeper is trained as good as we train them. So sometimes they don't know what they're doing and they mess things up. If you guys are in our academy, you'll see A lot of our students will get clients because the bookkeeper messed up the books and they didn't know what they were doing. And then we have to help our student learn how to fix those problems. So not every contractor is created equal, which is another reason we love to help you guys in the academy, because if you do get that to that point, we actually offer financial statement reviews for every client you have. So let's say you get a new client and you're hiring a contractor and you say, okay, contractor A, this is your client, complete this work. And we give you advice on how to structure the pay arrangement with the contractor as well. But then when the contractor's done, you can submit that work to my team and we're going to actually review it. So if you're not skilled in reviewing these yet, you hadn't gotten to that point, that stage in your journey, then we can review it and we can tell you if they did a good job or not, if they need to fix anything. And then from there, you'll know, okay, should I keep this contractor on? Should I keep working with them? Or is this going to cause me more problems? Because if your contractors do a bad job and then you don't know how to review it, and then your clients are upset because they're bad, that makes you look bad. Of course, you can fire the contractor, but then it's like, well, at that point, the damage is done, right? So I'm kind of rambling at this point with the contractor. There's a lot to think about whenever you decide to start hiring people that we also help you with in our academy. And if you are one of those people that you think you're going to be like really gung-ho about getting this business going and really reaching goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, and you want to eventually hire someone, from what I see most of the time, it's about anywhere between 6 to 9 months in that those types of students will start thinking about hiring. So even in your first year of being in the academy, you will be able to get support and help on hiring contractors and what that looks like. Sometimes people also like to hire other members of our academy because they know that they are being supported in the training as well. And that works out for some people. So, let me know, Deidre, if you have more questions on that, if that was helpful. Tell me, if I can answer any more with that. Lori says, you only get to deduct a portion of all bills or expenses if they are shared expenses like home office and other bills, space in your home. Yeah, so exactly. If you have a home office, you can deduct that. It's a percentage of all of the expenses that are incurred with your house. And if you have a cell phone, you can't deduct 100% of it, obviously, because you are using some of it for personal expense and things like that. So either you can talk to our tax pros in the academy or work with one of your tax pros to really, know exactly what you can deduct. But in general speaking, you can deduct some of those things. Yes, Deidre, family to hire is great. As long as you think it's going to be worth your time, they're going to stick around and it's going to be, a mutually beneficial situation, then it's perfect. It's worth it, right? I have really enjoyed the fact that I've been able to employ almost every single person in my family when they have needed it. And it's been very rewarding. Pam says, how do you balance meeting with new clients and still working a demanding full-time job? Ooh, great question. Okay, so the great thing about getting new clients is that most of the clients that you're going to be working with, they are running their business during the day. So when you are first starting out, if you've also got a 9 to 5 job, there is no problem with that because your client will probably prefer to meet with you on the evenings or weekends anyway. And as you grow your business and then you get out of your full-time job, if you want to set strict hours where you don't work evenings and weekends anymore, that's perfectly fine because your clients will accommodate you in the future. But it's also nice because in the beginning, you can meet with them on the evenings or on the weekends or on your lunch break or early morning. They don't care because they're running their business and they're squeezing you in when it's available for, a good time for them and you. So that can be really nice. And also all of this is done virtually. I only have a handful of students that really, ever want to meet their clients in person. Well, also we help you find clients that are all over the country too. So a lot of times it's not even a possibility to meet them in person unless you do our networking workshop. But all of these are going to be virtual. A phone call, a Zoom call, that's all it really requires when you're meeting with a potential new client. And usually you're only going to have a phone call or a Zoom call with them maybe 1 to 3 times at the beginning. Then everything else is done via text and email. They get you all the documents they need. You ask them questions over text and email. You do all their work in QuickBooks, and it's all online. It's all virtual. So it can be really handy. Kathy says, does the course teach the best method for getting your clients' info to complete and send reports back to them online. Yes. So the course will walk you through that, and so will our academy. Best practices for onboarding your clients. What documents do you even need? And how do you get those documents efficiently from every single client that you have? And then once you have all the documents, what do you do with them? How do you structure the cleanup job? How do you utilize those documents to get through all the month-to-month work? And then at the end of the month or at the end of the cleanup job, reviewing, how do you review the financials, and then how do you give them to the client? So we are going to help you through every single process in the academy. We walk you through it in a video format in the course, but in the academy, you're also going to get our team walking you through those steps. And then when you're done with those steps, we're going to provide that last bit of assurance by reviewing your financials. We're going to give you a 30-minute video back walking you through the financials. So over time, you're going to learn how to review your own financials as well. But then you're going to know exactly what to give your client, and you're also going to know how to explain it to your client too. So it may take 3 or 4 clients of working with us to really be able to do that. But one thing we love to teach our students is when you issue the financial statements to them, you can also give them a quick little like 5-minute video walking them through the financials. No one else does that. So the bookkeepers stand out in our academy because they're able to offer that to their clients as well. And that is something that the clients really love because they don't know how to read their financials. They don't understand any of that. So we're going to teach you enough of how to understand it so that you can explain it to your clients, and then they are learning how to read their own financials. So you are essentially doing the work for them and also teaching them how to be a better business owner, which is pretty cool. Morgan, yes, the networking workshop is part of the academy. I'll go over the different marketing in depth here in a minute, but we have an email marketing workshop that we recommend you start with. Then we recommend you roll into the social media workshop right after that. And the social media workshop comes with 365 days of posts already done for you. We show you how to customize them with your colors, add your business name to them, and then schedule them out for the whole year. So they're one and done. And then after that, we have you roll into the networking workshop. So just depending on how aggressively you want to get clients, you can do them all back to back to back. We also do have some students that kind of space them out. And so it may take 2 or 3 months before they get to the networking workshop because they just don't necessarily have the self-confidence to do that one yet. The networking workshop is more of like a small group. You're going to be talking about yourself. You're going to be meeting with other business owners in person or online. So sometimes that one can feel the most intimidating. So we usually save it for the third, and we let you do that one as you've built up some confidence. So, but the email marketing one, super easy. Social media one, super easy as well. But we do make that one second, just in case for whatever reason, nobody's, you guys aren't comfortable putting this out on social media yet. We have you do the email marketing workshop first so you can get some clients, get some traction, and then you can roll into those other 2. Of course, if you want to come in and do all 3 right away, that's just going to get you success faster. So it's definitely possible to do that. Those 3 workshops are only included in the Bookkeeper Academy, though. They are not in the DIY course. There is other smaller marketing ideas in the courses, but if you want those 3 workshops, those are exclusive to our Bookkeeper Academy. The reason being is that those programs change a lot. And so we're constantly updating that material, and we give our students the updated information all the time. And on that note too, I actually have a beta program. It's closed for enrollment right now, but it's called Sweet Leads for Bookkeepers, where I actually am doing the email marketing for our students, and I'm hand delivering leads out to everybody. And I utilize the email marketing workshop information to do that, but on a bigger scale. And I tweak the emails. Every single week, well, it's bi-weekly, we analyze the email results, find out which emails are working, and then we go in and we update the email marketing workshop for that information. So that's kind of a plus for being in the academy, is that you'll be able to have access to that stuff. Christina says, if we had questions about clients and problems with bookkeeping, would we be able to meet you in person to discuss with you personally? So if you have clients and you have problems or questions with bookkeeping, you're stuck on anything, that is where our academy will come in. And we have a lot of different ways you can get help from our academy, we have 70 hours a week where our team is available. We have 10 coaches that are all experts in all the different various stages of running a bookkeeping business, including technical bookkeeping, technical tax questions, quoting, marketing, sales, mindset, everything. And you'll be able to ask them questions. We are open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. During most of those hours, we have an average response time of 30 to 45 minutes. I actually require my team to keep it under 90 minutes, but they think it's a fun game to see how quick they could answer. So last week it was about 30 to 42 minutes was the average response time. So that means, you know, you have a question, you're stuck on something, you post it in our group, we're going to answer it like within about a half hour or so. That helps you move on to the next stage, and it helps you speed up your success generally. And then also keep the frustration level low, because you're not spending a lot of time researching things and feeling confused, because we'll be there to explain it and teach you. And then we have 8 Zoom calls every week. So if you want to talk, with somebody directly, you can get on our Zoom calls to do that. Again, there's 8 of them every week. Most of them last anywhere from 60 minutes up to 3 hours. So you're able to get on. You can submit questions ahead of time so you can get in line. You can pop in and out, whatever you want to do that's most comfortable. And then if those 2 different routes don't satisfy, like as coaches, they don't feel like that they can actually answer your question to the fullest extent, we will actually then schedule a one-on-one call with you. That is left up to the discretion of our coaches though. And 99% of the time we can answer your questions and help you through those 2 formats. So, but we do have the option for a one-on-one call if it is something that our coaches feel like they really need to speak with you privately to go over. But we also do have our client success coach. She's going to text, email, and call you one-on-one anytime that you are stuck and need help. She'll help direct you to where you need to go, but it's usually like guiding you to the appropriate, piece of support that's going to help you with your particular question. So great question, Christina. Morgan says, since you mentioned videos within the course, do you have any screenshots or screen sharing of walking us through a bit of what the Academy portal would look like? So we do have, so I guess I'm not 100% sure what you mean. You may have to like ask me that again. But we have coursework in the course that's going to guide you through how to do all of these things. It's video tutorials. And then we do have our support group. I can walk you guys through the support group so you can kind of see what that looks like on our one-on-one calls if you want to, and see kind of the activity going on in there. I don't like doing it on this big giant format, only simply because a lot of people are asking, private questions in the group. So, but I'd be happy to walk you guys through something like that on our one-on-one calls if you needed to see. Basically what I would just show you is our piece of cake support group and the activity that's going on in there, how our coaches are responding to people, what types of questions are being asked, how active it is, who all is in there, that kind of thing. So we have 277, I think it was 277 people in our support group right now. Let's see. I'm going to double check that. And some of them are staff members, maybe 227. Oh yeah, 228 people in our Bookkeeper Academy piece of cake support group right now. And some of those are staff members, obviously. Deidre says, what do you mean by cleanup for clients? Is that something that typically all new to you clients need? And do you teach this in your program? So yes, we walk you through in our bookkeeping course. You're going to get a walkthrough of what it's like to do a cleanup job for someone. Well, do a full year's worth of bookkeeping, not necessarily a cleanup job. So you'll see what it's like from start to finish if you had to do 12 months worth of bookkeeping for a particular client. And then in the academy, when you get a cleanup job, I'll explain that a little bit for those of you that don't know. But when you get a new client, 90% of the time, this client is coming to you because they are behind in their bookkeeping. They haven't done it, or they've tried to do it or hired somebody else to do it that messed it up, and it's messed up and it needs fixed. That's what we call cleanup job. So if you get a new client, you're going to be able to charge the monthly ongoing fee to keep them in order in the future, but you're also going to be able to charge them a fee going back So that way you can clean up the prior months. And of course, this is great. I didn't include that in that one chart that I was showing you guys about, but this is how you can make a lot of money even in the first few months of being in the program, because you can charge these upfront fees while you are building up your monthly consistent reoccurring income as well. So I'm going to show you guys a few examples of that here shortly. But we walk you through exactly how to do that. Every client you get is going to be different when it comes to a cleanup job, because, you know, they all have different businesses. Their businesses are all different sizes. They have different things going on. They could have been dabbling. They could have had a bookkeeper come in and dabble in it, mess it up. Their spouse could have been trying to do the bookkeeping. So all of it could be, you know, completely different from client to client. So we have a basic outline of the steps that you would take to tackle a cleanup job, but we really work very hands-on and very close with you in the academy to help you get through all of those stages, so that way you can get through the cleanup job really quickly. I'll show you guys here in a minute, but Jen Beckwith, she's one of our students in the academy, and 4 months into starting the academy, she got this client with a huge cleanup job. She charged him $32,000. And she did break that out over a series of about 4 months. And it took her about 4 months to get through every step, working on it little by little. So you'll do a little bit, and then more than likely you'll get stuck. You'll need a question answered from your client. Then when they get back to you, you'll do a little bit more, and you kind of space it out along with your workflow and do it as time allows. And it just depends on, you know, each client and how far they're behind and how much they need cleaned up and how big they are. But we're going to help you work through all of those things. So number one, it's manageable. Number two, it's exciting and profitable for you. And then number three, with the cleanup jobs, because you can typically do a lot of months in one sitting, you're able to batch your work, which makes it even more efficient. And most of our students make $200 an hour or more on the cleanup jobs, because we show you how to price it in a fixed price. Like she charged $32,000 to clean up 7 years or whatever it was. And then she goes back and does it. And she tracked her time while she was doing it. And it worked out to be like over $200 an hour once she got it all done, because she was able to do it efficiently. So anyway, that's how those kind of work. So let me know if you have more questions about the cleanup jobs. Some people end up loving the cleanup jobs, and that becomes their favorite part of running their business. Other people hate it and they love the monthly work. So it's just a total personal preference, and you really won't know until you get in and get one. The only thing that is always, like, for me, I hate it when students get their very first client is a really complicated cleanup job, because I've seen that like throw their confidence level. But you know, it's impossible to know what client you're going to get at the beginning. But if you do get a really hairy cleanup job as your first client and you're able to charge a whole bunch for it, that's great too. And then even though it's stressful to get through it and learn everything, by the time you're done with your first client, you are going to know so much and you're going to feel so much more confident. So there's pros and cons to getting like a big cleanup job, you know, right out of the gate. Do you suggest a separate phone number for your business? You know, when I had my bookkeeping business, I didn't have a separate line. I didn't want to carry around two phones, but nowadays they have Google Voice that you can use. So when you set up your email through G Suite, like we recommend in the course and the academy, you could easily get a Google Voice line and then have it's an app on your phone. So it's a separate number, but it can still be on your same phone. So you don't have to carry two phones around, but you don't have to give out your personal number either. There's pros and cons to that though, because a lot of times when we use our business line and we're trying to text you guys, if you guys have spam blockers on your phone, it doesn't go through, and then that's a nightmare. So there's pros and cons to those things, but so that's also a personal preference. I always use my phone, but you could also get a Google Voice line. And so these questions too are really great for the academy as well, because a lot of times it's gray. It is personal preference. So when you have a question, we can tell you the pros and cons to everything, and then you can decide what's going to be best for you and your business. That's really what the academy is all about too. It's like, we're going to tell you, this is how we recommend it, and this is why. But if you do it this way, or this way, or this way, these are your options, and these things can happen. And then you can decide, well, what is best for you? Because doing it the way we suggest may be the best for you, or tweaking it a little bit may be the best for you. So we can explain, we can be your crystal ball basically, and help you know what roadblocks you could potentially be running into should you like go down this fork in the road versus this fork in the road. Has anybody ever like thought that, like look back, man, if I would have only known this when I made this decision, I would have gone that direction. So that's what we're kind of trying to help you do in the academy, is really help you avoid making uneducated decisions in your business so that you don't regret them later. Obviously, this can't be 100% avoided because, you know, your situation may change later. And then you're like, well, if I would have known my situation was like this, then I would have changed my mind and gone another route. And sometimes it's impossible to avoid those things. But there are instances in growing your business where we could really help you make a better decision on moving forward, because you'll have all the facts and the options. Which to me, the only part that I have struggled with being a business owner is that all of a sudden you have all these options. Whereas when you're an employee and you're on a fixed paycheck and you live paycheck to paycheck and you don't really have that, you know, wiggle room, you don't really have options. So that can suck and that can feel frustrating. And then you want to look for other opportunities like this. But then when you're a business owner, you do have those options. But then it's like, what do I decide? How do I decide? So that's the only thing that's been a struggle for me as a business owner, because I like to be decisive about things. But when you are a business owner, you do have a lot of options, which ultimately at the end of the day, that is a really good thing, but can also be somewhat overwhelming too if you don't have anybody to ask questions to. So I have personally had a coach at every level of my business. Even now, when I first started my bookkeeping business, like in 2015, that wasn't a thing. There weren't really coaches out there. There weren't mentors. People weren't offering these types of services. COVID kind of like made that happen. So ever since then, I've had a coach in my business for, you know, since 2020, right? So, you know, I highly recommend always having somebody to guide you through the next step, because they can help you avoid pitfalls, right? And that's what our academy is really all about. Is there an example email social media marketing in the course? There are some email marketing samples in the course that you can use, yes. And we have some social media tips in the course as well, but we don't have the 365 posts. It's way more robust in our academy versus the course. Obviously too, guys, if you buy the course first, if you are just, you know, wanting to try to make the least amount of money invested in this at first, you can purchase the course. And if you decide within 30 days to upgrade to the academy, we apply your course purchase to the academy. So that is always something that you can do as well. So that way you don't have to like make a decision right now on which way to go. You can start with the course. Ideally, I'd love for you to jump in the academy. It's actually going to be less out of pocket for the first month if you did the academy first than the course. But if you feel more comfortable about less of a commitment, less of an overall investment, you could start with the course, work your way through that, keep in touch with me over the next, you know, 3 weeks. And if you think, okay, I really want the support, we just apply that purchase to the academy. So that's an option for you guys if you're really struggling to try to decide which program that you want. Lori says T-Mobile has digits program that is like having a second cell phone without carrying two. I think I've heard about that. Interesting. That's a good idea, because then potentially that would be a personal line, which you could probably get around the spam blockers and stuff if your business phone number is technically a personal line. So that's something you could do. James says, I knew someone who got into bookkeeping. They signed on with a client that was shady. They didn't have the experience to catch what was going on. They got into legal trouble. How do we protect ourselves from that happening? Interesting. So typically at the end of the day, all of the bookkeeping is the responsibility of the business owner, not for you. But as you're running your own bookkeeping business, we're going to have you get errors and omissions insurance, but we're also going to have you document things. So, you know, if your client asks you to do something, there's certain things that we're going to teach you that are going to be like, that's not right. Okay. So as a bookkeeper, these are the things you do. These are the things that are right. If a client asks you to do something that's not right, those are going to be red flags that go off. And then of course, like if you're doing it yourself, you're going to have a very high spidey sense, right? You're going to have high ethics. You're going to have to think, is this sitting well with me? If you ever feel like that doesn't seem right, you need to trust your instincts as a business owner. And if you're in the academy, obviously you'll be able to say, hey, my client's asking me to do this. Is this weird? Is it shady? So sometimes our students will come in and they'll say, hey, my client asked me to, do this or whatever. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Should I just fire them? And we're like, no, you don't have to fire your client because they're uneducated about what's right. So you can go back and tell your client, hey, listen, I can't do that because that isn't appropriate for my position. So I'm going to do it this way. And if you want to change it or you have an issue with that, you can do you, but I can't do that. And I'm not going to do that as your bookkeeper. And then you save that email in your files. Easy peasy, not a big deal at all. Now, the only way a bookkeeper can really get into legal trouble is if they do cross that line and they do something shady and in cohorts with the client. So for example, like let's say the client is looking to get a loan, right? And in order to get a loan, they have to prove that they have a no tax due certificate for their sales tax. But as their bookkeeper, that they haven't filed their sales tax in 6 months. Can you issue a no tax due letter? No, you can't. That's illegal, right? So, but those things you're going to know. You're going to know because that's not ethical, right? Like, so anytime that you feel like, I'm not sure about this, you either need to trust your gut or you need to ask us. And even if you are not in our academy, if you feel like a client's asking you to do something illegal or shady, please text me and I will tell you if you should do that or not. Okay. I will be happy to offer that as a free service because I don't want anyone to get into trouble. Because honestly, I have been in accounting and bookkeeping since like 1999. When I was like 17, I was doing my dad's bookkeeping and payroll. So, and I was using QuickBooks. So I've literally been in this industry for most of my life. And I have never met anybody that has been sued by their client for bookkeeping. I have met some business owners that have gotten in trouble because of their taxes and payroll tax situation, which I have safeguards in our program to tell you guys how to avoid getting into any possible issue with clients with payroll taxes. And I have met a lot of bookkeepers who have embezzled money from their clients, but I have never really met any bookkeeper who was legitimately running a great business that has gotten sued. It does happen, which is why we do have you get errors and omissions insurance. But I personally, working with thousands of people, I've never met anybody. I've never even known somebody who's done that. So it's not very common, to be honest. Deidre says, I regret not learning bookkeeping years ago. Yeah, it's a great skill, especially if you have, a business of your own already or a side hustle or something else that you can utilize these skills for. And truth be told, if you guys get into the academy, you learn this stuff as well, you can start other businesses later. And the information that you're going to learn in our academy is going to be directly applicable to other businesses too. So this is a really long-term investment that you're going to make in yourself as well. To be able to not only gain the skills and the experience that you need to have a very successful bookkeeping business, but to also have other businesses down the line that can really help you in your overall financial situation. Because most business owners that you guys are going to help don't know anything about bookkeeping. And that is a huge problem. If you're trying to run a business and you have no idea how to read your financial statements, like to me personally, I don't understand how they can even run their business. And most business owners run their business off of how much cash they have in the bank account. And that's dangerous. It's a slippery slope for them to not be around for long term, right? So we are providing a valuable service, but it's also such a great skill for you guys to have, because then not only can you help businesses, but then later on, you'll be able to help yourself if you decide to start up other businesses, which is cool. Do we have two separate emails just to work with the bookkeeping business? I do recommend that you have a business email. You don't have to do it right away, but it does look a lot more professional to business owners when you don't have a Gmail or a Yahoo or a Hotmail account. You actually have a business email. So those are nice too. Plus, if you do our email marketing workshops, they don't let you do it with a personal email. You have to have a business email in order to do that. You are in the UK and want to start your own business. Yes, we have a separate UK course that we will put you through. Highly recommend that you get that first. Go through all of that, get everything set up, and then potentially upgrade into the academy. So if you want to do that, I can send you the UK course. Most everything is the same as far as pricing, even though it's pounds and dollars, it's still like the pricing is still almost exactly the same. The only thing you have to do in the UK is you have to go through a money laundering certification, which is like $100 or 80 pounds or something like that. It's very cheap and it's very fast. And then you can get going. That's the only certification that the UK requires. So we had a UK bookkeeper, self-employed bookkeeper go through our program a couple of years ago, and she helped us create an entire UK module. So I can get you that link and we can help you with that. How would we go about reaching out to clients and getting leads? Is it just through email marketing? So we have three different marketing strategies. I'll go through those. First, we send you through our email marketing workshop where you're going to be targeting two different subcategories. Tax pros, EAs, CPAs, other people that are in the financial space that don't want to do bookkeeping. And you're also going to be targeting business owners. And so that email marketing workshop will get you great traction, tons of clients. Hey, Rihan. And then also we'll put you through our social media workshop, which is 365 days of posts. We show you how to customize them with your colors, schedule them out for the whole year. Then we show you how to expand your network so more people are seeing your posts. And then we'll put you through our networking workshop so you can learn how to find business owners in person or online, how to connect with them, how to network with them, and then they help you grow your business. So we'll do all of that with you. And I'll go over that here too in detail, Chris. If you're brand new to bookkeeping with no clients, do you recommend starting this way? Yes, I recommend starting, because the only way that you're going to feel not brand new is by working through the program, getting a client, having us help you, getting hands-on experience. You guys can read about bookkeeping, you can watch bookkeeping videos, you can get your bookkeeping certificate, you can go get your accounting degree, you can waste all that time, and then you're still not going to be ready for this. So my advice is to not waste all that time and just make yourself do something, even though you're a little nervous or you're a little scared. Have our support as a safety net. Let us help you through it. And then you can start making money, and you're going to learn more in our program than you would learn in any of those other routes. And I know this for a fact because I've gone through those routes. I got my accounting degree. I got my CPA license. None of that prepared me for having a bookkeeping business. And I'm also currently helping my 19-year-old through getting his bookkeeping certificate at college because he just wanted to. And none of that stuff even has anything to do with a bookkeeping business. It is so annoying. And I keep telling him all the time, this is so dumb. Why are we doing this? Because this has nothing to do with you starting your bookkeeping business. But he wants to do it, right? So, and it's fine. He's 19. He should be able to go to college. But it's just, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. It just, delays the inevitable of you still feeling nervous when you get started, still feeling like you don't know what you need to know as a self-employed bookkeeper, and you're gonna be right back where you are now, but it's just gonna be like a year or two in the future. And that's what I see all the time in the academy. I'd say 66%, 2/3 of our clients that join every month are people that have been following us for years. And every time I get on a call with them, they said, I really wish I would have joined when I first heard about you. So guys, if you're new, please don't make that be you. We want to help you get started with like no regrets, right? Christina says, how can you get your bookkeeping certificate in order for you to continue to go through the academy to finish what you started? You don't need a bookkeeping certificate. You don't need that. Business owners don't even know what it is. They don't care. If you want some kind of certification, we'll help you get the QuickBooks Pro Advisor certification. That is free. It only takes like a week to do it. And business owners know what that is. And you can also get clients from your Pro Advisor listing. So that is the only certification I recommend that you do. And honestly, it's not even a make or break on getting clients. Only about 50% of our students actually get the QuickBooks Pro Advisor certification because you don't even need that. Okay, so I answered that question. I answered that one. Okay, I answered that one. Okay, great. I got all of these. Yes, you're very welcome, Kathy. I know we've got a lot of people. Some people like to take some, a lot of time to make a decision, and that's totally fine. I love to be here to help people, not feel regretful later for waiting so long. But it also kind of depends on, where you're at in your life. Is this a pain point? Do you really want to do this right now? So that is a contributing factor. So. Rihan says, I'm a chartered accountancy finalist. Next month, I will be joining a Big Four to start my articles. I have a lot of bookkeeping and accounting knowledge. I want to start now. QuickBooks Pro Advisor certified already. Nice. I don't know where to start, really stuck. So, it's completely up to you. I know, Rihan, you're in Pakistan, I think, right? So for you, it's a little different. If you're planning on targeting US based clients, then you could still get started in this. It might be a good idea to find somebody to partner with that's US based. For example, I just had this lady who works and lives in the Dominican Republic, and she's always done bookkeeping as a VA for people in the US. And of course, if you're a VA, you don't make anything. You make 20 bucks an hour if you're lucky. So she wants to have her own business, but it's hard for her to get a business based out of the US to help US clients when you live and you're not a resident here. So she partnered with a tax person, and in the US, and they're going to be working together. So and they're going to join our academy under one membership. So Rihan, that could be something that you do as well. Partner with somebody. Where can we go to get the QuickBooks Pro Advisor certification? You can go to QuickBooks Online. So in our course and in our academy both, we're going to walk you through setting your QuickBooks Online accountant version up. And then within that program, that's where you go to take the QuickBooks Pro Advisor certification. We do also have a vendor that we partner with that helps you guys get through it quicker. If you want to pay for that service, I think it's pretty cheap. Don't know what it costs. I have no idea. But a lot of our students use that because they can get through it quicker. And both of those things are available to you in our course and in our academy. Okay, pricing again. Yes, I didn't go over the pricing yet for our programs, but I can jump to that if you guys want to do that. Let me pull up my email really quick because I just typed all of this out. And so I kind of want to share with you guys what that looks like. Oh, that's the features. Where's the pricing? I had that saved. Let me see. Here it is. I got it. Okay, so let's see. I guess I could put this on a document that you guys can actually be able to visually see. I know some people like to see things and hear it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this on a document, share my screen again so you guys can see it. Maybe make this a little bit bigger because it's tiny. Okay. And I have more stuff that I want to share with you guys too that is about the bookkeeping business in general, because we only got about halfway through that stuff. You guys were having such great questions. But here's our pricing. If anybody, wants to book a call with me or something like that, I've been emailing this out ahead of time so you guys can see it. But basically, the first one is for our bookkeeping course. We charge $9.97. It's a one-time fee. If need be, I can break that out into 3 payments. This one is the one that does not come with support, but you do get forever access to it. If you buy this and then within 30 days you want to upgrade into the academy, we can apply that purchase to your academy invoice. Then we have a second course called the Bookkeeping Course Plus. This one is $29.97. It's a one-time free fee. I can also break that into 3 payments as well if need be. This one also does not come with any support. However, if you pay in full for it, I always like to give you 3 free months in the Bookkeeper Academy as well, so you can kind of get a taste of what it's like to get our support. Otherwise, if you get it on a payment plan, it does not come with any support. You do get forever access to it. The difference between the Bookkeeping Course Plus and our regular bookkeeping course is that this one just has a lot more features or a lot more trainings on it, like our tax courses in there. There's a lot of additional trainings that over the years our students have really enjoyed and really like to watch. but our marketing workshops are not included in this. If you do buy it in full for the $3,000 and you get those 3 months in the Bookkeeper Academy, you will get to take advantage of the marketing workshops for the 3 months that you're in the Academy. Okay. And then the next thing is our Bookkeeper Academy program. This is a $12,000 program, $12,000 for the whole year. Most people do not pay in full. We have several payment plans that our students really like. We have a 12-month payment plan that's $1,000 a month, 0% interest over 12 months. Our most popular one right now, though, is a 24-month payment plan. This one is $640 a month. If you take 640 times 24, it's actually over $15,000. So obviously there's a little interest, but what we allow you to do, get into our program. If you're committed to doing it for the whole year, we are going to be committed to giving you a lesser payment option. That gives you the opportunity to get in, get some clients, have less money out of pocket, utilize our support right away. And then within just a month or two, you should have some clients coming in that you can then cover this investment out of your business account. And then as you start making a lot of money in your business towards the end of the year, maybe 6, 9, 10 months in, you can pay off the remainder of the principal balance of the $12,000 fee. And if you do that before the end of the year, your first year in the Academy, we will waive the interest and cancel all of the remaining payments. So it still ends up being interest-free. So that is the option. If you want to commit to being in the Bookkeeper Academy for the full year, we give you that option. And then, of course, for anybody that is able to pay more, right now, if you're able to put at least $6,000 down on the Bookkeeper Academy program, we can break the rest out over those $640 payments. But if you pay $6,000 down, you're going to get complimentary access to our Sweet Leads program, where I'm actually going to be delivering you a lead, at least one lead, probably multiple leads from now through the rest of 2024. So we have that option. That's the only way to get into that program right now because it is not open for enrollment. But just so you guys have a general idea of this investment, and what I really want you guys to focus on is that this will be great if you want to do the payment plan, if that's something that you guys are looking to do, because what happens is for $640 a month, you're going to get 70 hours of help every week from our team. But we're going to teach you how to charge clients $500 a month, and that only takes you 2 hours a week to do the work for your clients. So really, it's massive value for how we're going to turn this around and help you. And it's a no-brainer for people if you meet these conditions. First of all, you got to believe in yourself. That's the first thing. You got to believe that you're going to do this, that you can do this, that you can learn this. But you also have to believe in our company. You have to believe that we can help you, that we're going to do this. So first of all, if either one of those things are an issue, book a one-on-one call with me. We'll go over that. We can see if we can work past those two things. Those are the first two hurdles. And then the next two things to make this make sense for you is you have to be able to plan to come in and immediately take action and complete our homework steps. Everyone, when they first get started with this, they're nervous, but you still have to take action because it's like school, right? If you enroll in a college class and then you never show up and you never do the homework, you're going to fail, right? You're going to get an F. Same way with this. This is not a done for you service. We are helping you learn how to do this. And this doesn't work if you don't take action. So you have to come in and complete the homework steps. So if you're good with that, then we're ready to go and this makes sense for you. The other thing that you want to also factor in is that if you can't put at least 5 to 10 hours per week into getting this business off the ground, it may not make sense for you right now. We don't want you to come in and then feel frustrated. So as long as you have 5 to ideally 10 hours a week where you can work on this, you're going to make massive action. And then this whole thing is a no-brainer for you. So like I mentioned on here, if you can check those 4 boxes within about 30 to 60 days, you should have at least 2 clients. Those clients are going to pay you on average about $1,000 a month. That will entitle you to be able to pay the $640 payment plan from your business account. You'll be able to transfer the remaining $360 over to your personal account and already be making a profit in that short of a time frame. And then, of course, every additional client that we help you get is icing on the cake. It is more money that you can keep transferring into your personal account. And of course, the timeline does vary from student to student depending on their effort. So yeah, and like I mentioned again at the bottom, if you are able to pay in full, or if you can at least pay $6,000 of your balance, we're going to give you free access to our Sweet Leads program. And then I'm literally going to be doing the email marketing for you. So that's all the offers I got for you guys today. So it's like whatever makes sense for you. And I'm going to drop some links in here, and I have more stuff I can still go over if you guys want to stick around. I've got some more things I can share because I only got about halfway through the promotion. But what I want to be able to do is get you guys the information you need. So if you want the link to the bookkeeping course, type that in the chat. I'll grab that. If you want the link to book a one-on-one call with me, type that in the chat. I'll get you the link. If you want to make the $640 payment, type that in the chat. Also, if you don't have the $6,000 today, but you think you could get it in the next 30 days, you can make your first payment of $640, get into the academy, and if you can pay the $6,000 within 30 days, I will upgrade you into the Sweet Leads as well. So really, you just need the $640 to get in. I'm going to at least drop that in the chat in case any of you are interested in doing that. And then I'm going to go back to the slideshow so you guys can get more information that you want, that you need. Here it is, copy. So I'm going to drop this in the chat. If you guys are, okay, this first one, that's the $640 payment plan. And let me get you the calendar link for if anyone wants to book a call. Calendly. And if you aren't already texting me as well through after filling out an interest form or anything like that, I can also get you that link to fill out a interest form. That way we can at least start communicating via text. Here's the link to book a call. Okay, if anybody wants to book a call. And then yes, let's get the interest form link as well. Because I'm happy to talk with people too. If there isn't quick openings on my calendar, I'm perfectly happy if you are, just wanting to sign up, but you just need to chat real quick. We can talk over the weekend and we can get you onboarded right away as well. So the second you sign up, let's see if I can copy this link. There we go. Okay, and there's the interest form. So if you fill that out, it'll come right to my phone. I'll be able to text you, get the information that you need, and we can go from there. Let's see. Yes, Rihan, the Academy can definitely help you if you want to target US clients, and you can follow all the same steps, all the same marketing strategies, everything. Yes. And you're welcome to do that on your own. But I do believe to get an LLC, you probably would need some kind of US presence, but you also maybe wouldn't need an LLC also. Oh yes, you want to see the end of the document again? I can definitely do that. Let's see. Share screen. There you go, Morgan. There is the end of the document. And Melissa said, is the $12,000 paid yearly or is a one-time payment and you're a part of the Academy forever? Great question. So the $12,000 is for your first year in the Academy, and then everyone else gets half price for second years and beyond. So after that, it's basically, it moves to a monthly subscription of $500 per month. And then we also have a really big discount. If you pay in full for your second year, it's only $4,000 for the second year. So very, very cheap incentive. We have people that have been in our program since 2020 because, when you're making $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, to pay $500 a month to have 70 hours worth of support, it's a no-brainer. So people will just stay in our program so that they know that if their client ever asks them any weird question, that they'll have the answers. They'll have it covered. They don't have to worry. And they tend to stay in there for a long time. So, and then of course, I don't always like to talk about this, but there's lots of opportunities to work with our team and on our team after you have graduated the academy. So, usually at your 12-month mark, especially if you are a real go-getter in our program, we will likely pull you into some portion of our team, which is exciting because it's fun to be a part of something that is a really big movement and something that's really, really helping people. So a lot of our students that get really, really good at all of this stuff, they like to come back and be part of our team as well in various components. So that's an option too. And I know one thing that our prospects always like is they always want to talk to our students. So I'm actually working on putting together a new program where if you are in our academy, then you can, after a certain period of time, can apply to be part of our technically what it would be called as our sales team, but we aren't really salesy. It's more of like a discovery team. So if people have questions, they'll be able to book calls with various people that are also students in our program. And then our students will actually get commission and get paid if they help sign people up into our program, kind of like affiliate, like referral situation. So there will be all sorts of opportunities to you after you get into the academy, above and beyond just growing an awesome bookkeeping business. The networking in the academy is fantastic because you'll be able to, work with all the other people in there that are growing their businesses and stuff like that. But there's also opportunities if you ever, want to be on our team. We always promote from within. We always hire from within for most people. So that's always a cool thing too. Just a little, I thought I'd throw that in there. The document that I was using, yeah, I can give you guys that. And I can email this to you as well. Joan, I actually started emailing that out shortly after we had our call because so many people were, saying, oh, I wish I would have known this ahead of time. So I started just emailing it out. So there isn't any, surprises, but I can share this with you guys too. Let me copy this link. Wait a minute. It says private only to me. How do I do that? There we go. Anyone with the link can view, copy link. Okay. So this is the document there if you want to see it. This is all the information on our programs currently. So obviously this stuff is subject to change. I don't know how long we will do in-house financing. It is a lot of work to manage payment plans. So the $640 per month payment plan, it won't be around forever. I don't have any plans currently right now to discontinue it, but we are in talks of, I see a lot of you guys are already clicking on it, a lot of talks of working with a new loan company so we don't have to manage the in-house payment plans, but still give you guys the opportunity to come in with, not as much out of pocket. So some of this stuff may change in the future. The Sweet Leads program may be extended past 2025. Currently, right now, my plan is to do it through the end of 2024 and then kind of flip it into a more robust marketing tutorial. But I may end up scaling that and making it more of like done for you lead generation services that we offer. So let's see. You guys have all had really, really awesome questions. I'm going to look at my slideshow and show you guys I didn't even get to my favorite slide. So let me share this with you guys really quick. So since so many of you guys are still on here, I want to make sure I cover this. So this slide here, this is the reason that I got into doing bookkeeping. Primarily, this was my main reason. And that I'm excited to talk to you, Jolene. So the reason that I wanted to start my business at the beginning was because I wanted to be home with my 6-month-old. I didn't want to work 45, 50 hours a week during tax season. I didn't want to make $17 an hour or whatever it was that I was making. I hated that. So I started my business because when I was working at my CPA firm, I was in charge of doing the bookkeeping for my boss. So when I did the bookkeeping, I knew how long it took me to work on each one of my clients each week. But I could also see how much the clients were paying my boss because I could see all the transactions that were coming through their account. So I knew what my hourly rate was doing their bookkeeping. It was at least $100 an hour. I knew for a fact that, like, for example, one of the clients he had was a $500 client. I saw that this client paid my boss $500 every single month, and I knew it. I only spent 2 hours a week working on this client. So I knew if I could just do my own business, I would only need like 2 clients and I would still be netting, or 4 clients or something, and I would still be netting the same amount that I was working full time for him. And I would only have to work 4 hours a week. So this chart here shows you how awesome it is when you get to these levels. Like I mentioned, you can, if you put consistently 10 hours a week into your business, eventually you'll get to be up to the point where that 10 hours is zero marketing and it's all bookkeeping work, and you'll be making $5,000 per month doing bookkeeping and only have to work 10 hours a week. And it just kept going the same as I grew my business. I was only working about 38 hours a week when I was making $20,000 a month in my business. So it's really, really awesome. Um, let's see, Christine, 640 per month is the same as the interest. I'm not sure what you mean there, but if you do the 24-month payment plan, then it's 640 a month. That's $3,300 of interest. But if you pay the 12,000 balance off before the end of the year, we waive that 3,300 and we cancel the remaining payments. So, I mean, ideally, that's what we want you guys to do. We don't want anyone paying that interest. We don't want anybody to do that. So we want you to get in, get a whole bunch of clients, make a whole bunch of money. Then later, when you're comfortable, maybe you've quit your job, whatever it is, you've gotten yourself in a better financial situation, you're making a lot of money, then you can pay that off early, avoid the interest, and you're done with your first year. So that's the plan. That's what we want you to do. Anyway, so if you guys look at this chart, type in the chat, look at how much you want to make per month, or how much you're currently making per month in your job right now. And then look over at the chart of how much time it would take you if you pivoted to a bookkeeping business. And what I like to do is do a little math in your head or use a calculator. How much time would you save if you quit your job and you did the bookkeeping business instead? So, like, for example, if you guys make $5,000 per month right now, but you work 50 hours a week, including your commute, then you're going to save 40 hours by switching to a bookkeeping business. So can you guys do that really quick? Do that math and then type that in the chat. How much time would you save? Yeah, I can send you, Faith, I will send you the link. I'm going to send everybody the link to rewatch this if you missed any parts of it. So, oh my gosh, James is going to save 25 hours a week. Lisette's going to save 30. That is cool. And can you guys imagine, like, you got to sit and think about that for a minute. Oh my gosh, Christina's going to save a lot, like 38 hours. Deidre's going to save 32. Morgan's going to save 35 hours a week. I mean, imagine what your daily schedule will look like if you're working like 7 hours a day less, or 6 hours a day less, or even, 5 hours a day less than you are now. It's pretty incredible, and still making the same money. So that's the goal. That's what we're always working towards in the business. And then, once you get your business back up to where maybe you are working 30 or 40 hours a week, time to hire someone. Let's get you that time back again. Let's go to the next level. This is where we help you build a team, and then you hire someone. So that's really, really cool. So, I've talked a lot about this, about what the results are and why it works this way, but I haven't gotten a chance yet to really break down the science of it. So I want to explain to you guys, how does this work? And if it does work this way, why doesn't everyone do it? That's always like the question that everyone asks, right? So there's some key elements as to why that it works out this way. Why can you make this much money? Why does it only take that long to do the work? Why are you making $100 an hour? How is it working? So I want to explain that to you guys really quick. So the first one that's important, that you have to get this right, is proper quoting. So a lot of bookkeepers out there doing it themselves, this is the first step that they mess up. If you don't quote correctly, you're going to not have these results, right? If you underquote your clients and it takes you 10 times longer than you thought, obviously you're not going to hit these results, right? You're going to turn this business into another job that you have to slave away at. And we do not want that to happen. And that's another reason why we like the Bookkeeper Academy as an option for you guys, because we can help you analyze these results with every single client. Is it working out like the plan? And if it's not, what did you do wrong? What do we need to tweak? What do we need to pivot for this client, but also for future clients? So the number one thing is understanding and learning how to do proper quoting. So in our course, we're going to give you a flow chart and a script. So when you talk to a new client, you're going to know exactly what to ask, get the information from them that you need, and then you'll be able to put it in or look at our quoting flow chart and decide what is the most appropriate monthly package. Now, if you're in the academy, you're going to get that, but you're also going to get our quoting tool, which is an interactive tool where you can just type in the answers and it spits out a price for you. And you're going to be able to submit all of this information for our team to be able to give you feedback on your quote. So that way, you know, there isn't any gaps in it. If this client wants something that's not really listed on our flow chart, then we'll be able to discuss that with you. So for example, Sylvia in our academy, she had a construction client. She hadn't worked in that industry yet. And the quoting tool told her to charge $500 per month. But she came to one of our Zoom calls and she asked our coach, Vanessa, she said, well, it says $500 a month, but they're also asking me to do a couple extra things that I wasn't sure, how to charge for. And so she told all of this to Vanessa, and Vanessa's like, whoa, you definitely need to charge $1,000 a month for this client. So she went back and told the client that, and the client was like, totally on board because the client knew how much work it was going to be. And so she ended up getting double what she thought she should get for this client, which helped her make, an extra $500 a month for this client. So if you add that up, 500 times 12, $6,000 a year. Let's say she keeps this client for 5 years. That's $30,000 extra she's going to make from this client just by getting our feedback. So that's what we like to help with in the academy. But if you don't do proper quoting, you're going to be working harder because we tell you to do these in fixed price packages. It makes it easy for the business owner to say yes. And then if you quote correctly, then the next thing that comes into play is how you do the work. Efficient workflow. There's two things that kind of go hand in hand with this. Number one is how do you use QuickBooks Online in the most efficient way? How do you also use the built-in artificial intelligence with inside QuickBooks to help you get the work done faster? So we help you know exactly how to do that. And then we also help you streamline the whole process. So that way, if your client's asking you for other things, then we can say, no problem, happy to help you with that. Let me give you a quote on that. Because if it's outside of the, scope of the work on your engagement letter, then we know that we can charge extra for those things. So having that workflow down to where it's really efficient, but also you have the work lined out so that the customer and you both know what's included in this price and what's not. So if they ask you to do more, then we can help you adjust your monthly fee and quote for that too. So those two things go hand in hand. That is how you guys are going to make $100 an hour. So we are going to work with you with every single client to make sure that those things are happening, that that's all happening appropriately. So it takes some practice working with clients to get this down, but it's almost like in the academy, it's almost like we're going to be great helping you grade yourself. It's a self-analysis, but we're going to help you grade yourself so that you get these results. But also too, the reason that you're going to make $100 an hour, or the reason that we're going to help you get it set up this way, is because we want to help you build the business with the end in mind. Sure, could you charge less? Sure, you could charge less. You could also charge more, but if you charge less, you're not setting yourself up for long-term success. Short-term success, yes. You may get out of your job faster if you undercharge and get a lot more clients, but then long-term, you're going to struggle because number one, your business isn't going to be worth as much, and number two, you're not going to have the profit margin to hire people. So we want to help you build the business right from the beginning, thinking about that long-term success, building it with the end in mind. The first one is that We want you guys to make sure there's enough profit built into your process, to your client fees, that you can hire people to help you, but still make the money you need for your family. So you don't want to immediately hire someone and then be broke and have to go get a job, right? Like that would not put you back in a good spot. So we want you to be able to have enough profit in your business that when you hire someone, you are still keeping at least 70 to 75% of the fees that your client is paying you. And that will still allow you to pay a really good wage to somebody that you hire as well. So if you kind of look at this chart we were just looking at about the time commitment that it takes to do the bookkeeping work. If you decide at some point that you're ready to hire a full-time employee, if they can work 40 hours a week, they should be able to handle all of the bookkeeping for clients that total $20,000 per month. But do you guys know what the going rate is for a full-time bookkeeper? If you were to go get a job, when people look for people that have bookkeeping experience and they want to hire them full-time, they pay them around $3,500, maybe $4,000 a month is all they make. So you could even pay them a really nice wage of like $5,000 a month. And even if you do that, your business is still profiting $15,000 per month. And that is massive because then you're still going to have that money coming in, but now you have an employee that's doing like 90% of the work for you. So as you guys can see, you got to take that first step to get all this going, get our help in the academy, build that foundation. And then this is how you build on that. And then from there, like let's say you hire your first employee, but then you keep growing and then you get, $20,000 worth of clients again. So you're ready for your second employee and your third employee and your fourth employee. It only takes about 4.5 employees before you are making $1 million a year in your business. So I know that's like probably 5 years out from now. If you guys have those goals, it's going to take you about 4 to 5 years to get there, but it's doable. So if you think about this, like $1 million a year, if you divide that by 12, that's 83,000. We'll just round to $80,000 a month divided by $20,000 that it takes for each full-time employee. You're going to need about 4. So 4 full-time employees, and then you're making $1 million a year. But those 4 full-time employees are making 60,000 a year, and you're making $1 million in revenue. So that means your profit is like 750, 760 before any software fees or, planning for taxes. So really huge profit. I mean, I'm sharing this with you guys and it's a longer term plan, but as you can see, there's literally no cap. There's no ceiling to this. So it's really exciting because all you have to do is take that first step and make that $2,000, work that 4 hours a week. Then your next step, maybe you replace your job, you make the $5,000 a month and you work in 10 hours a week. And then you can decide, do you want to go from there? One of our longest standing students, her name is Melissa. She's been in our Bookkeeper Academy. She's the one that's been in there the longest since 2020. And if you guys get into the academy, you'll get to communicate with her. She's on the Zoom calls and things like that. But she's kept her business at $5,000 a month now for the last like 4 years because she has her son at home and she's wanted to focus on his development and homeschool him. But now he is about to turn 6 and next year she is sending him to kindergarten and she's excited to scale her company because she's going to have like about 30 hours a week when he's in school that she can work on it. So whenever you guys are ready, you can do it, which is great. And then also I don't know, I maybe have briefly touched on this, but if you set your business up this way and you're building it from day one with this end in mind, these businesses are extremely profitable and extremely desirable is what I meant to say to investors. So there's lots of companies out there that go around and buy bookkeeping businesses up all the time. I get emails probably 2 or 3 times a month and someone's like, I would like to buy your bookkeeping business and whatever. So, but they do that all the time. And I sold my business before I started the academy and I got over $150,000 for it, which was really awesome. And so when you grow your business up, like let's say you're making $200,000 per year, you can sell it for $200,000. If you grow it really big and you're making $1 million a year, you might be able to sell it for $2 million. So these can also be a great retirement plan. Even if you don't think you want to run a bookkeeping business for the rest of your life, do it for the next 5 years and sell it and then retire and then go travel or whatever you want to do. Start your next business. Use this to fund your next business. So there's just a lot of things that you can do with it, but we're going to help you get all of this set up so that way you can do these things, which is cool. And then, like we mentioned, we talked about, some of you guys had some questions about the back work and the cleanup opportunities. So, the monthly reoccurring fees that I've been showing you on these charts, it doesn't include the back work and the cleanup jobs. But like I mentioned, 90% of the time, 9 times out of 10, when you get a new client, they're going to need you to do some kind of back work or cleanup work, because they're coming to you because they're in pain. They need help. They're behind. They're struggling. They need their bookkeeping caught up. They need a loan. They need to file their taxes. So you usually get to charge that monthly fee and also a cleanup fee on top of it. So I'm going to show you guys 3 examples. Kim joined our academy, and within about 6 weeks of joining, she got her first client. This client was a bigger client, pays her $2,200 per month, but they were behind in their bookkeeping. Actually, the previous bookkeeper messed some things up, did some things wrong. So we helped Kim put a list of those things together, give to her client, and propose a $9,000 cleanup job. So by the end of Kim's second month in our program, she actually made $11,197 because of the cleanup job. Now, the $9,000 isn't ongoing, right? It was just a one-time thing. The $2,200 is ongoing, but it was really cool because she got that huge lump sum right at the beginning. Now, if you got that, you could pay off the academy balance right there, or you could put it in savings and allow you to quit your job ahead of schedule and be able to focus more on this, or you could pay off debt, or you could go on vacation, or you could just keep it in savings, or whatever you want to do. So it's pretty cool. Another example, Alicia, she got a $10,000 cleanup job. This client was a $1,500 monthly client. She got this in her first month in the program. So she made $7,500 in her first month. Obviously, the $1,500 is ongoing. The $6,000 was a one-time charge, but still some great money she could use to stockpile away. Alicia and Jennifer, both these 2 examples, they are both on our team now. So you guys will get to work with them and learn from them as well if you're in the academy. But here's the example of Jen. This was a screenshot of her post from the Facebook group where she said she landed her 5th client 4 months into the academy, $32,000 in back work. So super cool there. And then this one was $2,200 a month. She was making $4,000 per month by the end of her 4th month. So she was actually one of the students that was right on target for our averages. So kind of cool. This is a recap of those 3 ladies. Does anybody have questions about the cleanup jobs or, potentials? Obviously, it is different. As you can see, 6,000, 9,000, 32,000. This is not typical. Like that was an outlier. Obviously, what I see most often are cleanup jobs that range anywhere from like $1,800 to $2,000 all the way up to $10,000. I know in December we had like 2 people that got $10,000 cleanup jobs, and in January we had someone that got a $12,000 cleanup job. So there's a lot that are in that range. 32,000 is a little higher than we've seen typically. So just to recap, I've talked a lot about this, but how we help people achieve these results, we first help you how to learn how to conduct a discovery call, know how to ask all the right questions, and then from there we help you put together a proper quote, so that way you can then propose the quote to the client, learn how to explain the value so the client will easily say yes. Then from there, we show you how to onboard the client, get all the documents that you need. Then we walk you through the cleanup job, exactly how to do all of that, and then also walk you through how to complete the monthly work. So we help these ladies, and we help all of our students in the academy with all of these steps. And then also, of course, the most important thing is we helped those ladies find the clients. And obviously, you guys probably know that that's called marketing, and we've talked a little bit about that. But we can show you how to do all of the marketing and how to find them. Yes, Jolene, finding a client with a $700 cleanup job is not that hard. Not that hard at all. And when you're desperate in the beginning, if you do underquote the cleanup jobs, it's not a big deal because any money is great money, right? Rihan says, sorry to ask again. Yes, you can do it without an LLC. You can. And I will say though, honestly, I am not versed in international situations as when it comes to taxes. So when you're doing bookkeeping for US based clients, I don't know if the US will want a piece of that as part of like when you file taxes, or if that would just be something that you would, stick with in Pakistan, or how that would work. But we do have a vendor on our team that you can do a free consultation with that is based in or that is a lawyer. So you can ask those kinds of questions to them and they could guide you, maybe even connect you with like an international tax expert or something. Okay, so we have three main methods, like I mentioned in our academy, where we teach you to do marketing. All three methods have been proven to get our students to making $100,000 in their first year, even if they only do one of the methods. But of course, if you do all of them, you're just going to get your results faster. So the first one, well, typically we do the email marketing first, but on the slideshow, I have social media listed first. But for this one, we help you utilize the platforms that you're already familiar with to find and connect with business owners like Facebook, or in Facebook groups, or on LinkedIn, or in LinkedIn groups, or Instagram, or TikTok, or whatever it is you want to do. We help you post content that actually gets business owners interested in reaching out to you. It attracts them. Like I said, we have 365 days worth of posts already created for you. We know that they are good because we use them in our email marketing for Sweet Leads, and it's getting people interested in signing up for services. So it helps attract them to you. This is free. It's a free marketing method. The only thing that would cost any money is if you want to use our scheduling platform. I think it's $100 a month if you want to schedule out all of your posts for the whole year, but you don't have to. You can just post them each day individually. It takes 5 minutes. You can do that, or you can pay to have this program just schedule them out for the whole year. So that's the first thing. Then we also have networking groups. And this is a great option. We show you how to find virtual or in-person networking groups where other business owners hang out. And then we help you create a strategy around attending these groups so you can get referrals from people in the groups. You're also going to establish referral partners. So other people in the groups are basically going to be doing marketing for you, and they're going to tell all of their friends and their families that you're open for business and that you're doing bookkeeping. So when you join these groups, they do have a marketing investment, anywhere between $500 to $800 for the year. Some of them make you pay it up front. Some of them make you pay it bi-monthly. But when I did this, I made like over $60,000. I think it was like actually $82,000 when I was in this group. Specifically tracked back all of my client base from people that had referred to me from that group, and I had made like $82,000 or something from it, which was cool. And then, like I mentioned, we've been mentioning email marketing. We help you set up your email marketing campaigns, and we also help you get a large list of emails for tax offices and business owners. I said that backwards. So that way you can deploy 2 different email campaigns, one to each of them. This will help you get new clients, but also develop partnerships with people that are going to be able to refer you a lot of business owners for bookkeeping. The marketing investment for this can also be free unless you want to use some of our marketing softwares, and this can be anywhere between $50 to $150 per month, just depending on which marketing programs that you use. So you can do it on a very small scale and do it for free, or you can use some of these programs. So I guess I'd love to know, drop a number in the chat of which marketing method you guys think you would use. If you got into the academy and started going through these workshops, what would you do in the first, like maybe 3 months? Would you do number 4? Would you do all of them? Or if not doing all of them, type of 1, 2, or 3 based on which one you would do. Lots of 4s. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are open to doing all of them. That's great because that's going to just really solidify you being able to get these clients faster. Because I will say, guys, everyone asks me all the time, oh, what is the success rate? Well, it's 100% if you keep going because there's 33 million businesses out there. It's impossible. It is impossible for you to not have success in your bookkeeping business unless you don't do it. Unless you literally don't do the marketing and you hide and you don't do this, it's impossible to not have success. So you will get clients. I guarantee that. Financially, I can't guarantee that. I can't make those claims, but I know you will. You will. So this is awesome. 3 and 4. God, awesome. I'm scared about the networking groups. That's okay. You can do that last. Build up some confidence first. Yeah, the email marketing, Jolene. Yeah, you got to do that. It's super quick way. So I've already told you guys a little bit about our Bookkeeper Academy, but I'm going to dive in really quick and kind of give you a little more detail on what it looks like when you get in there. And if you decide to do that instead of the course, what it looks like. Rihan, we have somebody that we can refer to you for SEO, but that's not going to help you because you don't really want to tell everyone in the US that you're probably based in a different country because that's going to be another hurdle that you'll have to jump over. So I think, if you do SEO, unless you want to get clients that are local to you, but SEO would be driving people to your location, to your website. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily matter where you're at on the map, but I know that a lot of marketing people will put a lot of stock in SEO, and we do have somebody that can help our students with that. Personally, I have never really put a lot of stock into focusing on SEO for marketing purposes because that's like all organic and you really just don't know, if it'll work anyway. So that's kind of how I feel. That one is just kind of, to me, a needle in a haystack type of thing, and it doesn't have a real solid strategy. Morgan says, I'm needing to head out. Would you send the recording link? Absolutely. I will send out the recording link. Okay, so if you join our academy, we run our support out of this private members only Facebook group. Like I mentioned, there's 228 students in there right now. Some of them are our staff. Some of them are our renewal students that have been in for 2, 3, 4 years. And then a lot of them are our students that are in their first year of the program. And when you get in there, you get help from all of our team, all of our coaches. You also be able to collaborate with the other students as well. And our Facebook group is great because it has like 5 years worth of data in there. So it's searchable. Even that alone will help answer a lot of your questions if you ever want to search through there and see what other people have asked and the answers that we've given them. But we actually treat the Facebook group like a ticketing system. So when you submit questions to us, we track the time of that and we track our response time and our resolution time. That's why I was telling you earlier that we have a 30 to 42 minute response and resolution time in our program on average for most questions that are asked. The name of the Facebook group is the Piece of Cake Support Group, but you won't be approved into this group unless you enroll in the Bookkeeper Academy. So it is a private secret group that only people in our Bookkeeper Academy get access to. But when you're in here, you get to ask any questions, sales, marketing, quoting related, QuickBooks Online help, technical bookkeeping, technical tax questions, workflow, marketing, mindset, everything. So we help with every aspect. We even have helped students with like, how can I create a chore list for my kids so they can help me at home so I have more time to focus on my business. We even help with those things. So tons of stuff, very holistic approach to helping you with your business because it is part of your life. Currently right now, like I mentioned, we have hours 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I guess Monday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday, we stop at 6 p.m. And then during that time frame, we have an average response time of 45 minutes. It's less than that most of the time. If you ask a question outside of these hours, we answer it at the beginning of the next shift. So if you're working, Friday night or Saturday night or anytime on Sunday, we'll answer your question first thing at the start of the next shift. Here's a sample of the tracking that we do, a screenshot of all of our tracking, the number of questions that were asked per coach that answered, and the resolution time and response time and all that stuff. We also have 8 Zoom calls every single week. This is our typical schedule. Sometimes they change. The Monday and Friday ones sometimes change times. We start the week and end the week with mindset. And then we also have office hours Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with a double one on Wednesdays for people that want to come in the evening. They last as long as needed, sometimes up to 3 hours, just depending on how many questions are asked. And we make sure everybody is fully supported. You'll also have a client success coach that will walk you through and support you through everything via one-on-one, via email and text, and she'll even get on a phone call with you if you need her. She's going to guide you through our step-by-step process every single day of the program, and she'll be checking in with you often and making sure that you're not stuck on anything. She'll help hold you accountable to your goals. Everyone that comes in has different goals, so we document that and we help you set new goals once you reach those goals as well. And then she's going to be the main point of contact if you're like, oh, I need help with this, but I don't know where to find it. She'll help you with that, as well as with all of our other coaches in the Facebook group too. And obviously, she's super supportive and motivational, and she is a former student who graduated our program, quit her IT job, retired her husband, and now he homeschools the 4 kids while they run their bookkeeping business. And she wanted to come back and work for us because she was so passionate about helping all of you guys have the same success that she did. So you'll also have access to coursework, most of it for life, and a lot of exclusive bonus trainings that no one outside of our academy has access to, like our 3 marketing workshops. A lot of this stuff is, well, our coursework is more than you will ever need in your bookkeeping business. And we have it all given to you right from the beginning, but we'll point you to doing the coursework that is applicable to what stage you're at in your business. So we wouldn't want you to watch through everything right away, because that would be a waste of time. You probably wouldn't remember it all anyway. So we have you watch the things that are important, and then as questions come up in the course of working your business, we'll point you to the coursework that's going to be the most helpful. Over time, probably over the course of like 1 to 2 years, you'll probably watch all of it, but there's no need to watch it all right away. So typical journey when people get in the academy, their first couple of weeks, like I said, is kind of a crash course. They're going to set up their bookkeeping business back office. They're going to learn the basics of bookkeeping and business ownership. We're going to show you how to provide amazing service to your clients. What does the day-to-day look like, the month-to-month in a bookkeeping business? From there, you're going to feel comfortable communicating with potential clients, even though you don't know everything yet. And we're going to give you the script and show you how to conduct a potential client discovery call. So that way, when you're doing your marketing, if somebody's interested, you'll know exactly what questions to ask if they call you. Then after that, we have you go right into marketing. We want you to develop your marketing plan right away, go through our marketing workshops, get help, support, and feedback from our team so that we can make sure your marketing is solid and it's getting automated and out there, because we want you to then, at least at a minimum in your second month, be onboarding your first few clients. This is where we really shine. Once you start onboarding these first few clients, you're already profitable in your business. But then you're going to have our team to help you with cleanup jobs, onboarding, doing the work, learning all of it, getting hands-on training. And then from month 3 to 12, that's where we're going to keep helping you as you get more and more clients. You're going to become an expert bookkeeper with our help. And then you're going to get exposed to work with clients from all industries. You won't have to tell anybody no because you don't know how to work a certain industry, because we're going to help you with that. So that 12-month time span is going to give us time to be able to work with clients from lots of industries. So you have tons of exposure to tons of different things, and you'll feel super confident by the end of your 12-month term in the program that you could take on just about any client. And it's also going to help us help you set the foundation for that profitable business that gives you the financial, location, and time freedom that you guys are all looking for, the whole reason that you're here. So that is what we do. That's what we're going to help you. This is kind of the timeline that you can expect to make. in our program. So what questions can I answer? Does anybody have any more questions? And can I get anybody any links? Is there any links that you guys want? I've got the one-on-one call. If you guys want to join our Bookkeeper Academy, you can make that down payment of $640. You could be, if you pay, more than that, the $6,000 at some point before the 30 days is up, then we can get you into the Sweet Leads program as well. And then also, if you want any of our coursework, I can give you guys those links too. And if we aren't already communicating on text or via text, what I'd love for you guys to do just to speed this process up is fill out this Academy interest form. And then that way I can be sure to get you access to this recording right away. And that way it'll automatically text me. But if we're already communicating via text, I've got your information. I can easily get you the link to this recording this afternoon. So you know what? Let me make sure. I think I had a call with somebody too. I need to hop over onto that. Let's see. Yes, I have a call. I had a call with somebody. It's not popping up on my calendar now. But let me know. Does anybody have any questions, thoughts? Need any links from me? Oh, I think somebody rescheduled. That's why. Okay. All right. So that's all I got for you guys. I know it was a lot of information. I like to give you guys everything you need to know so you have all the information, but I do really encourage you to, just jump in. Just make a quick decision, jump in, do this. Try not to think about it too much and just let's rock and roll. Trust your gut, trust your instincts, and let's just make this really awesome for you guys. So thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it. I'll be reaching out to you sometime over the weekend. I'll try to do it today, but I will be reaching out to everybody here soon, get you the link to this recording, and we will go from there. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to speaking to all of you and helping you guys all out, whether it's through our course or our Bookkeeper Academy. So thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye.